Hello, Justine D'Andrea here with Bible Journaling Ministries creative team, and today we're using the printables from Matthew 5:16. These come in your Momentum subscription, or if you want to buy them separately, you can go to BibleJournalingMinistries.com to the store there and purchase them separately. There's, as you can see, several different um, styles of the images. Some of the items that we'll be using today is an emery board, where you can use sandpaper if you wanted to, cardstock to match the printables, and I'm using like a page from a book. It's just what I chose to use. You can use whatever you want as the background. Some Modge Podge, brown paint of some sort. We'll need a little bit of that. I'm using a corner rounder, a hole punch, some washi tape, and some string or ribbon, and then some scissors. Oh, yes, you'll need a paintbrush and also a roll of 2-inch uh, packing tape, and then last but not least, a old toothbrush. So I think that's it. If you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start off with cutting out our printables, whether you use stickers or use paper. Actually, for this particular Bible journaling that I'm doing today, part of it you're going to want to, well, I say Bible journaling, but we're actually not going to do something in our Bible. But my point is to say, you don't want to have sticker paper for this project that we're going to be doing. We're doing two separate little projects just to show you what else that you can do with the printables that are available to you. And just want to say, if you're new, welcome, and if you are returning and part of Momentum and Bible Journaling Ministries, it's so good to see you again. It's just great to see how this ministry has grown and how it affects so many people, men, children, and women. So, yeah, just taking some time to fussy cut because that kind of relaxes me. Okay, so let's get into the part of what we're going to do today. We're talking about tags, and what I want to do is do what we call a tip in or a tip out or a tip up or a tip down. It's a part of a way that you can, if you've already, as you see, I've already journaled this page. So what I need to do is be able to add more to the page. And the way you do that is with um, a tip in, tip out, whatever. An easy way to do it is with tags. So you can buy pre-purchased tags, or you can go ahead and make your own. Either way that you want. I'm sure if you're like me, you have plenty of cardstock around somewhere. So I am using a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to decide how big that I want my um, my tip in. I'm going to just call it a tip in now. How big I want to have it. So you would take a ruler and then kind of just decide how big you want it. So at first I was thinking a 3 by 6. I thought maybe that would be good, but then as I was cutting my paper, I decided to go a little bit bigger. I went a 4 by 7. So that's what I'm going to go with. So um, you'll see me switch it up here because I'm like, yeah. The really cool thing is you can decorate the front, and then the back would be where you can add notes or more images, whatever you want to do. I mean, that's a part of doing Bible journaling, being creative. I call it a creative worship, creative worship. Kind of just do your own thing. Okay, so I have my cardstock, and I want to say If you want it thicker, you can make it thicker by just adding two pieces together. But tags have all different types of edges on the top there. So the one that's store-bought is kind of a square or slanted edge, which you can do, but I'm actually going to, I like using my corner rounder on projects. And I have done all four corners. Now I'm going to use the page from a book that I'm just kind of tearing apart, and you decide how big you want it. And I'm just going to add it to the middle of my tag. And I'm tearing the pages because I just think it looks better. This is so simple, but it's just so cool. Now, I am putting the words going sideways, which is fine because you're not going to really see all the words because I'm going to actually put an image on top of it. Um, be creative, be spontaneous, kind of just have some fun. So I'm just gluing it down with some wet glue. You can use wet glue, adhesive, whatever you feel comfortable using. And then I am going to decide what printable I want to use. And I think, even though I've cut out a bunch of printables, I've decided that I'm going to use this bigger one. These bigger images are used for this particular, I'm actually using the Inspired Bible. So these bigger images are for the Inspired Bible, or you can use them on the Interleave Bible. And an Interleave Bible is a Bible that has a complete blank page, so you don't have to worry about covering your words at all. You can use it for notes, or you can go ahead and use it for adding your art project or your images. I say art project because a lot of times I love to paint in my Interleave Bible. I love painting, but you can only use so many paintings in your house. So if I do it in my Interleave Bible, then I can have a place where all my paintings can go and I can appreciate them along with going with a verse. So, so I'm just fussy cutting this out. I'm not worried about being too perfect. And I'm going to put that in the middle of my tag. And this is so easy. And I mean, if I was a beginner, I would be like, I can't, and I saw this ready made, I would be like, I can't do that. That's so hard. But when you realize it's just taking step by step and how easy it is. So I was thinking about using some inking on distressing my edges, but I haven't done this technique in a long time. I'm going to use an emery board. And because this particular paper, it's not, this, I believe is close to my heart paper. It's has like the ink on top, but it's actually on a white piece of paper. So you'll actually have an edging of white all around. And you can do it as hard or as light as you want. So I go around the edge, I'm going around the edge, and I am just leaning into it and just doing the edges. At one point, you're going to see that I actually take it and I go over top of the paper, and it's really cool because it actually looks weathered, or yeah, because some of the white will show through. And it would look like, oh, it's just a great technique. It's easy, but yet effective. If you wanted to, the piece of paper that I ripped from the book, you can actually edge the page in ink to make it look a little bit more weathered or rustic. So here I am doing the flat. I just put the paper down flat and I went flat onto the whole page, kind of just to, give it a little bit more of a used look. So again, this is what I'm using as my tip in, or I'm actually using as a tip up, and I'll show you that. So I love the way it looked. It was just that one image, those beautiful colors of the image, and It looks great. I'm excited about it. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and use some brown. You can use brown paint. I have this vintage effective wash, whatever. You don't have to use that. A little bit of brown paint, and you just want to make sure that you are watering it down because you want it loose. You don't want it too wet because you'll lose the color, but um, we're going to actually splatter it a little bit around the edges. I'm going to try to not focus on the middle because I don't want to get it on my printable. If you wanted to cover it with a piece of paper, you can, but I'm focusing on the outer edges. And basically, I take the toothbrush and my finger and I kind of like pull back the brush bristles so that it kind of flings the paint on. If you've never done it before, you're going to want to try it. It's a lot, and you just have to protect your area. There is, I think Tim Holtz does have this bigger tool that you can use to splatter. But for smaller things, and the way that I started out with was the toothbrush. Of course, it's an old one. I'm not going to reuse it. And there, I love it. I love the way it looks. It's simple, and it's going to look so cute in my Bible. It may not match exactly what's in my Bible, but I think, it's just telling a tale of one time where you studied it, and then you come back to another the verse again or something else on that page, and um, it just, shows you the different things that you've done. I'm using a heat tool here because I wanted to speed up the process so I can show you how to put it in your Bible. I'm laughing because I feel like I'm talking so much. If you knew me, you would know that I do not talk a lot. I am pretty much a quiet introvert. And for me to sit here and talk for all this time is kind of weird. But it is, I gotta say, it's God because it just flows out of my mouth. It's just a gift that God has given me to come and create with you. All right, so that's a tip out. Um, let's see. Those are all tip out. That's a tip up that I just did. And all I'm going to do is grab some washi tape, any color you want. I just so happen to have something I think that matches quite lovely with the printable that we're using. Then I just go to the edge of the tag, and I'm going to do the top part first, and I'm going to put it on the top of the page. So this is a tip up, and of course, if you put the washi tape on the bottom, it would be a tip. Well, I guess a tip down. Tip out, tip in. Okay. And then, and if you don't know what washi tape is, it's actually paper tape, and you can buy it anywhere. There's actually even Tracy gives you some, but this is a little bit more thinner and flexible, so I like to use that, and then I'll go on the inside and do the same. And when I say Tracy gives you some, I meant that on the bottom of the page is like a washi strip of the printables that you can just use as a border or something like that. And then I remembered I wanted to add a little bit of something on here, so it's let your light shine. And actually, the verse is, even so, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Matthew 5:16, and that is the King James Version. So I'm going to just kind of put that on. And that reminds me of the verse that I'm doing. And you want to go ahead and maybe date it. You can date it on the other side. So the other side, you can add more images, or you can go ahead and use it for notes, for note taking or whatever, or a prayer or anything that you want to do with that. Now I'm going to take my cardstock again, and we are actually going to make a bookmark. So you can use the bookmark for yourself, or you can go ahead and give it to a friend if you wanted to do that. Maybe if you're journaling with someone, you can go ahead and swap bookmarks. So I'm just doing a 2-inch by, I believe it's 9. Let me just double check. 8, I'm sorry, 2 by 8 piece of paper. because we're going to be using our 2-inch packing tape. And I'm just going to pull some out a little bit longer than the 8 inches. I kind of fold it over so it sticks at the top there and then pulled it down. If you wanted to fold the bottom over too, because you'll see as I'm doing the video that kind of folds up a little bit. So this is after, you could do this while after you've done your Bible journaling and maybe you've made your tip-in and you have extra pieces that you don't know what to do with. Well, I'm going to go ahead and rip them and we're going to add them to the tape. So we're going to take small pieces and just kind of add them around. And I'm just taking pieces, random pieces, and just ripping them. You can do this if you didn't have a lot of extra printables, you can maybe add some other stuff to it that you have in your junk box. I have a box that I keep some extra pieces that I haven't used that maybe I'll use later on a project. So I went and dove into that. I mean, I would dive into that and get it. But I have plenty of pieces or images left over. And as you can see, kind of just putting it together as a what in the world is that? It's so funny. Collage. When you don't use certain words, see, they escape me. So we're just placing. So I do want to mention that is the sticky side that's up. I don't know if you noticed that. So the sticky side is up. And this is just another way to kind of just do a project. I don't know. I love learning new things. So it's okay if you have spaces also, because what'll happen is when we put it on the paper, the paint, the marker, what the heck is it called? Bookmark, it will you'll see the paper from underneath come through. It doesn't take much to do this. Just kind of here and there. And I am ripping because when you rip, it looks a little bit, I think, cleaner than placing. It blends, I think, a little bit better, the papers, when you Modge Podge it. We are going to go ahead and do a light coating of Modge Podge over this. The other thing is the tape it should be a little bit bigger than your bookmark so that you can fill up the bookmark. This is actually kind of, I think, a good project for a kid too. Doing it along with you and helping each other out. All right, so I pretty much have it the length that I want it. And the next step will be to Modge Podge it. So I'll take a paintbrush. And like I said, you only need a little bit. And put a coat on there, nice thin coat on there. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up because I'm going to give it a quick drying so that I can continue on. Oh, I did want to say that if you forget a piece or you want to add something to it, go ahead and add it on top of what you have there ready and just add a little bit more Modge Podge so you can add to it. The other thing is later on you're going to see that I add some lettering. You can do it at this point too. I'll remind you later, but I thought about it after I had done this part. So I'm going to cut the top off and then I'm going to cut along the 2-inch edge to straighten it out. And this is really cool because it gives you the guide, you know, you don't have to worry about retracing it or anything like that. I'm going to use some wet glue to glue the tape on, and it'll go on nice and easy. You can use it, you can put it on the tape or you can put it on the cardstock, either way you want to do it, whatever makes you more comfortable. And then trim up the edges. Making sure it's nice and flat. Cutting the bottom. There we go. How cool is that? I love it. I think it's a great little technique. You can use it on anything, maybe make cards with it or whatever. All right, so the next step will be to punch a hole in the top. For some reason, I don't know, I just noticed this too, that I didn't go all the way up to the top of my bookmark. It's up to you, but I think my intention was to go all the way to the top. I just wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna cut out Let Your Light Shine, and this is the part where I said that I probably should have put this on before I Mod Podged it. If you decide again to add something after, then just go ahead and put Mod Podge over it, only because it will help to protect your images, especially if you're using it as a bookmark. And this way it will last longer. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop out this wording and glue it on. I'm gonna glue it on sideways. I just think it's a little bit different. And then the verse, I'm gonna add to the bottom. All right, so pretty much done here. I'm gonna add this, then I'm gonna punch a hole and then add a little bit of roping. You can add ribbon or anything that you want. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you'll give it a try and let me know how you like it. What you think about the technique and all that. And I would say too, if there's anything that you want to learn more about, you know, maybe put it in the comments and um, maybe we can add that to our schedule of things to do. And also, you could use this if you didn't want to use it as a bookmark. You can also use it as a tip in or a tip out. It's a little bit smaller, and you know, you might want to do that, or you could just leave it in your Bible as a marker. So I just want to say thank you all again for watching. And if you want to learn more about Bible Journaling Ministries, go ahead over to BibleJournalingMinistries.com. We do have that 10-day free beginner course that you can take if you're new to Bible journaling. I'm just going to go ahead and round the edges. Sometimes I like to do that. Here we go. I did that because I wanted to show you, if you wanted to make it thicker, just add 2 layers of the cardstock to the bookmark. This way it'll make it thicker. Or you could put it on a manila folder. All right, here I am. I have my little hole punch. I'm just gonna grab some twine. All right, my friends. We've come to the end of the video. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope that you all stay well, and I will see you real soon, I'm sure. I'm just finishing up here so I can show you both of them together. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Bible, and there you have it. Yay! Okay, God bless you all, and take care.